Oh, oops, I was muted. I caught myself very quickly this time. That was Road to Joy by Peter Gabriel. I really like that. Um, Peter Gabriel's probably in his 70s at this point, and he just put out a new album that I think is his first album in like 30 years almost. I mean, he's put out like a couple singles. I don't think 20 years, 20 years. So yeah, there's some really good stuff on there, and I mean, he definitely took his time with it. I like that one. Lyrically, it's a little on the nose, but I think he's earned it at his age. You know, we don't know how we will think at the age of 72 or so. But I think it's great. Most of the album, I talked about this the other day, but I listened to it, came out with two mixes, the light mix and the dark mix, basically. And there's subtle differences and more extreme differences. But he is still, I think, artistically like really relevant. Maybe not relevant, but he's still doing great stuff at his current age, and I like it. He's one of my favorite artists, so it's good to hear a full album of new stuff, and I like 80% of it, like quite a bit. So yeah. Anyway, thank you. By the way, this is a BRB from many years ago. If you have any BRBs, feel free to upload them to the Buru or just email them my way. Vinny, I need to know that your thoughts on the success on the Palworld explosion and the success of your VOD. Well, I can say this about Palworld right now. I don't have the patience or the mental fortitude to tackle that topic because I am aware of how the conversation around it has become absolutely insane. When you say the success of the VOD, yeah, just noticing it now, 160K views in 5 days, which is actually insane for a full stream of mine. The game, my impression of the game is this so far, and I'll have more detailed thoughts in the future. I need to assess my thoughts a little bit. When I got a key for the game, I was prepared to laugh at it. I have played many a shitpost. I've played many a ripoff. I have played many a clone. The fact that this one blew up and turned into a massive conversation is kind of insane. Yeah, so it basically, people are saying it was created by AI, which is also not 100% accurate. Then there's, the word plagiarism is being thrown around, which I've seen disputes of that too, that it's really close. And it's like, is it really 100%? I don't know. What I do know is from the beginning, it's very clear that this game, look at the pals. Of course they're fucking Pokemon. Like, what are you expecting? The game is a shitpost by a seedy developer. What ended up happening was the game blew up somehow. I have no idea how it got as big as it did. And then it became like, holy shit, this is crazy. Why is this allowed? And then there are people who are saying, well, you're defending a giant corporation. There's other people saying, no, it's bad. But how could you do this? It's turned into this bizarre conversation. I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know how to talk about this because people will hear buzzwords and immediately go ape. So here's what I can say. My experience with the game was this. I went in fully expecting to make fun of it and look at it as a joke. Oh, Pokemon with guns. Okay, sure. And then I played it, and it was very dumb. And of course, there were clones of Pokemon in there. The gameplay, however, was kind of fun. It was silly. Like, yeah, you can make your own Pokemon sweatshop, and you can capture humans, and you can make them shoot guns. Like, the fact that this game is even being taken seriously has blown my mind. The fact that it's sold over 2 or 3 million copies at this point also has blown my mind. But what I think the things that made it so enticing is the fact that it was a shitpost of like, you can do these things with fake Pokemon. And people looked at it. I remember that day I was streaming it, people were like, oh damn, I might have to get this. Like every 20 minutes, someone would enter the chat and be like, hey, this looks pretty good. And even though the game is not going to win any awards, it's very basic survival gameplay. There's an addictive hook to it. And when people were watching, I think they saw that. Like, oh, you can have the pals automate this, you can have them do this, and then you can build a base, and then you can go out and get more. It's a fairly competent gameplay loop for a janky fucking clone bullshit game. And the very words Pokemon with guns is enough to grab people's attention. So I guess I kind of understand why it blew up a little bit. Still surprised because I've played hundreds of Mario bootlegs, Zelda bootlegs, Pokemon bootlegs. I've played so many clones. The fact that this one got 1 million or more sales is what made this conversation turn into this shit show. Unfounded claims of one thing or another. People just running with the keyword. It's AI. Okay, 100% people don't even know if it is or not, or haven't played it. They heard the word, they're going to say it. Then that other people get upset, and then other people are like, you're defending Nintendo, and it just turns into a complicated, confusing, vitriol-filled mess for a game that was made by a company that does not give a shit. This was 100% a joke game that got very big. And as such, I enjoyed playing it just fine. But no one would have anything to say, or never has had anything to say about those other clone games I played. Superboy, fake Mario, all these like bullshit Mario games. Not once has anyone been like, well, think about Nintendo's IP. It's just either it's Pokemon brain rot, or it's the fact that we live in a brave new world. I don't know. Maybe because people are so defensive over artists, which is a good thing. Or if there's some kind of, the fact that this game just achieved massive success out of nowhere. But yeah, not once have I played a bootleg where people have been like, well, Vinny, think about poor Nintendo. So yeah, it's all around. I don't even know what side I'm on. I have no idea. I just remember enjoying the game for a couple hours. It's like, holy shit. This has become insane. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you, chat. And I don't think there's any good opinion on this game other than it was stupid. I enjoyed it for a little while, and I'm not thinking about playing it right now. And that's it. So I guess I did just talk about it. I don't really have many other thoughts about it, actually. So you got it out of me, chat. Good job. And no, I'm not going to speak on whether or not things were done in the game fully ethically. I mean, I didn't look at the game from the beginning and go, oh, that's an ethical video game. Not once did I look at that and be like, I'm sure this is the highest standard of game development. So Nintendo's apparently aware of the game too, so it's up to them whether or not they want to pursue some kind of legal action. But we'll see where it goes. Also, I'm loading Final Fantasy. Give me a second here, chat. And yeah, I'm not qualified to speak on what they did do or didn't do because I haven't read all of the literature, nor have I put the models into a thing, nor have I done any of the research needed to write a fucking dissertation on Palworld of all things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed me discussing this, and hope you're all keeping sane and finding ways to keep sane. And that's about it, really. Palworld 5-hour YouTube documentary when? I guarantee there's at least a couple in the works right now. There's got to be. Someone said Nintendo going after fan projects is annoying when Palworld gets a free pass. Ah, well, see, that's the thing. It's not called Pokemon World. And even though you may have seen a few tweets about they took aspects of a model from a Pokemon, there's 1,000 Pokemon. And yes, some of them get very close. There was one about a mesh that was copied. And then another person disputed that as not the same mesh, but influence. Well, of course. at that point, you know, what do you do when you have a company creating a Zelda fan game, but then Palworld is like, well, it's not Pokemon because it's pals. They're pals. It's very complicated and confusing and weird, and Nintendo apparently already shut down the Pokemon mod for Palworld. So I don't really know what the answer is other than I will die in some point in my life. 20 years, 30, maybe 40, 50 if I'm lucky. And I don't want to spend too much of my time thinking about Palworld is my answer at this point. It's a very exhausting topic.